Tabakatamritam tapta jivanam kavibiriditam karmashapam Sravanamangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvigrinantiye Vridhajana. O my Lord, the nectar of your words and the narrations of your activities give life to us and soul of those who are always suffering in this material world. This nectar is transmitted by exalted personalities, and they eradicate all sinful reactions. It is all auspicious and filled with spiritual power. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Those who spread the message of Godhead are certainly most munificent. This Tabakatamritam, this nectar, word of nectar, I want to talk, first of all, I want to talk about this, to focus on that. Normally people katamrita, katamrita we say, katamrita or katamrita, but we never thought what is the meaning really. The nectar comes out really from that word, means juice, like a sweet juice, like a nectar. I want to share with you about my experience on katamrita. First of all, as an introduction, about 35 years ago, I had a car accident in which the car hit me, myself. I was hospitalized for about 1 month, but luckily I didn't have any injury, but I could not move except face and hands only. Now, miraculously, I'm totally okay. So that time, I read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, days and nights. You can't imagine. Really, it was a nectar for me that time in the hospital. Nurse asked me, I guess you have really studied. Means Japanese, I was reading Japanese Gospel. It's heavy. I want to show, but I forget to me. Heavy book. You are reading such a heavy book all the time. She teased me. So I just smiled. And actually, this was not my study. Not for me. It was a real nectar. Nourishment of my soul. That was my concept of gospel, katamrita. So you say katamrita means just that book, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Yeah, for normal people's understanding or convey the message. But for me, really nectar. Sweet juice comes from the book, and I drink. That is my attitude also. So that is actually, we have to cultivate our devotion and love to God. So how to cultivate? I think this is attitude, one of the attitudes I feel. One day, really, the doctor, surgeon, came to me, and he doesn't come normally. He doesn't come, but he didn't come to me. But suddenly he came and sat down next to me. And he said very seriously, I do not know about your religion. You are not a Buddhist. No. I don't care about it. But it seems to me your God helped your life. It was a miracle. he said to me. Since then, I believe that I have been given the new life from Sri Ramakrishna. That is my concept. Just I want to comment. Just as I'm the person who is filling this class temporarily, just today, so I want to share my experiences about the gospel. So that, no, I will enter the book also. I'm ready for that. But as an introduction, I want to enter those my experiences so that it may help you to cultivate the attitude, how to read gospel, actually. Okay. About absorption, how to read the gospel. About the beginning of my coming to Vedanta, how many years ago? 40, more, 40, I can calculate. I want to forget my age. But anyhow, yeah, 40 years ago, something. I met one boy who was around 16 or 17 years old at the Japan Center. Japan Center is a very small center. And his job, he was distributing the newspapers to the houses early in the morning. That was his job. Every day, 2 or 3 a.m., he had to go to the office and prepare the newspapers, whatever, to distribute. And he distributed. And after distributing the newspapers every day, he came to the Japan Center and talked with Swamiji. They are in charge. That was his daily routine. Amazingly, he lived in the world of gospel. Unbelievable. Totally absorbed in the gospel. Absorbed in Sri Ramakrishna. Always he talked about Sri Ramakrishna from the gospel, and the people who are in the gospel were like his neighbors or his friend to chit-chat. So suddenly he said, oh, Mahimacharya said like this. How do you think? Yeah, I read this. Thakur said this. So he's relating our day-to-day life. Totally. He is mixing with our day-to-day life and conversation in the gospel. And he talked to us. So amazed. We amazed. Not only myself. Always he talked about Sri Ramakrishna, and we all were amazed in his attitude. We all, means not myself, all the devotees there, all admired him very much. And he inspired us a lot. I myself, in the as a beginner, I learned a lot. How to read the gospel. And how to absorb it. This is so my impression was very strong. Even though devotee, unfortunately, he didn't become a monk. Everyone expected, but he wanted to take care of his mother. And he is very, very practical person. So he didn't have the dream. Just he didn't. Just he wanted to live in his own world. So that was unfortunate for us, but how we have to absorb in that world of gospel. That one, really, in the beginning I learned through his attitude. So that I see, so I'm so gross compared with him. I always reflected myself. Oh, so gross. I have to always calculate and I have to use the reason, and read the gospel. What is this? What is that? Like that, my case. But he's not in his case. So that one is a very training for me in the beginning. So from everyone, even Swamis, of course, but even from devotees, we can learn a lot. That is my experience in the beginning. And another aspect of the gospel. Gospel is actually establish the base of our spiritual life. That time, many people visited the Japan Center. Many. And I had a very blessed opportunity to meet many people. The head Swami of Hatha Yoga in Rishikesh, they visited us. And I had a blessed opportunity to visit him how many years ago? So he was already passed away, but very great soul. And talked with us. That Swami, head of the Swami, and attendant Swamis. I was very fortunate. So I walked with him to walk around neighbor, and he invited us to have a tea. So we had a tea with him. He sang suddenly, Atman Brahman or something like that. And I never seen like that. Swami suddenly sang in front of us to teach whatever. It was very impressive. Now, I had an opportunity to talk to attendant Swamis also. That time I was a totally devotee, very young. And I found that they read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna very regularly as their routine. I was surprised. They know each words of Sri Ramakrishna, but we don't remember such things. But they can narrate us a lot. Oh, Thakur said this, Thakur said that. Okay. They know they are outside from our congregation, but they know much, much better than me. Oh my God, that also embarrassed a lot. So I found that they are establishing the spiritual life based on the gospel. I was surprised at this and learned a lot through those people also. So they are outside, but they don't care. Just they want to get the juice, suck the juice from the gospel. That was their attitude, I guess. So I don't know actually what they are doing, but outside groups also, religious groups, they recommend to read Sri Ramakrishna, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, we can read. The Master and Narendra, we don't go this theme, but the title is Sunday, March 1st, 1885. Sri Ramakrishna was seated on the small couch in his room, absorbed in deep samadhi. Mahimacharan, Ram, Manmohan, Nabai Chaitanya, M, and other devotees were sitting on a mat spread on the floor. They were watching the Master intently. It was the day of the Dayaprana, a Hindu religious festival. Sri Krishna and Radha are the central figures of this celebration, their images being placed on a swing which is rocked now and then, a red powder is showered to the images. Later, friends and relatives threw the powder at one another. This festival is celebrated when winter passes into spring on a full moon day, rendered doubly sacred by its association with the birth of Sri Chaitanya. The devotees saw that the master was returning to consciousness of the world, though his mind still lingered in the realm of God vision. Just till here, I want to say many things. He said, Master's room. If we go to Daksheshwar, unfortunately now, we cannot enter his room. I felt sad. Always, my time, always we could enter. We had the opportunity to sit in his room. It was a great experience for us. And bigger couch bed and smaller bed. Two are there. And in front of that bed, there was space. And we sat down and we meditated for 1 hour, 2 hours, free. So that was a wonderful experience for all of us. More details. When I stayed in Berumat, I had a routine. I was very adventurous. So I attended Mangalarati, 4:30 or 4 o'clock or something. And after that, 6 o'clock, I ride on the bus and went to the Daksheshwar by myself. And at Daksheshwar, everyone's already sitting in the coach, means in his room. So I saluted Mother Karima, and after that I went to his room and I meditated for 1 hour, more than 1 hour. After that, I sat his room there, and in front of his room there is a Nahabat, small Holy Mother was there. Room there. Room means Nahabat means like a tower. So I went there, and that is by myself. And I saluted, and there is a veranda, small room, but veranda. And now we can't enter. Very sad, but that time we could enter freely. So I entered the veranda, and I sat for 1 hour or something. It was great joy, real great joy. And sometimes priests came to know, every day I come. So, you're okay? Are you hungry? No breakfast, huh? He gave me the ruchi. As a prasad, I give you prasad. So, ruchi or prasad chanamrita from Nahabad, I got. Those are my routine at the olden time. So, that was just an extra topic. Now, I want to talk about Dayaprana. It means, Dayaprana means holy. Do you know, here also, Chaitanya's birthday, we put the Chaitanya's picture, means image, icon, murti, and we offered something. Do you remember? You remember? Ramoy, remember? Chaitanya. Oh. Well, I don't remember. Yeah, pink powder to offer to God, to Thakur. We did, huh? That one, that festival. It means originally they call swing festival. Means they put a swing on the swing, deities put there. I've seen once Gopala is baby Krishna. They put on the swing and they swing. So Gopala is happy, like that. This is attitude to cultivate. So, especially this festival, Chaitanya birthday, is full moon. I love this. This full moon is very touching for me. Comes to my heart always every year. Whenever Chaitanya's birthday comes, full moon comes. From now on, if Chaitanya's birthday comes, you have to look at the sky full moon. It's so beautiful. I love that. I feel joy. How can I say? That comes to that moonlight read comes to my heart always, all the time. I feel joy without any through just seeing this full moon only. I feel inner love for God, longing love for God. That is a Chaitanya's love for God. Through the full moon, I really feel that, I don't know why, no reason to say, but you have to experience. Just you see, go outside and look at full moon that day. Amazingly, I can feel the love of God, that Chaitanya's love. And I remember the eyes of Chaitanya, who was full of love for God. Amazing. Actually, when I went to Vermont, President Koda, that time, no, I don't think now, but at that time, they hung the Chaitanya's picture, big picture, on the wall, on the door, no? Top of the door. And during waiting for interview with Swamiji, we had to see always that Chaitanya's picture. That was a beautiful picture, Chaitanya. Chaitanya is like a girl, face is like a girl. So I couldn't understand that time. This sage is shaved hair, but lady or man? I couldn't understand. So beautiful eyes, and he was intoxicated with God love. That was a painting. So I admired that face. So Chaitanya's love means, I remember the eyes of Chaitanya, who was full of love for God. This is my Holi, actually coloring this and that. Also, I will tell you, but this is my first experience of Holi festival. And I had a blessed opportunity to attend the Holi festival at Vermont twice, actually, as I remember. So, as a foreigner, it was shocking event for me, even at the Vermont, not in our lifestyle or customs. Means they put a color powder each other or something like that. That is fun for one person. Not for all. But this is a custom, no? So I'm talking because just at randomly I'm talking. No, this is according to the Gospel. Sri Ramakrishna is talking, is facing that day. On that day, he's talking. So I'm talking about that day festival. No? Okay, please understand that. No? Background of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, I don't know. They are continuing still, but more than 30 years ago, they at Vermont, monks, they threw the red and pink powder at one another in the temple, main temple. Here we can't do that. Carpet. But that was an amazing view or experience for me. I astonished when I went to the temple. It's all the time serious. 4:30 Mangalarati to open the shrine. It's everyone meditated in the darkness. It's so serene and beautiful, holy atmosphere. That day, oh my gosh. Everyone's head shaved, red or pink head. I shocked. What is this? Wow, weird. Really, for the foreigners, it was really, I've never experienced it like this. So I saw senior monk was meditating, but the younger monks came to him from his behind to shower the powder from the top. It was amazing, unthinkable view. But actually, it was really fun to see. That senior monk could not continue to meditate, just he stood with a smile, but he was totally covered with red or pink. Just fun. That was going on in India, actually, on that day. We are very serious that we don't have such things, but yes. That time, I really wondered why they are doing this. I guess as every day they are very serious, they need to break some limitations inside. For this purpose, we sometimes need some unexpected, unthinkable event to break our limitations. This is my understanding about this festival. Whatever is, whole floor with red powder in the temple. Unbelievable. So this was my first experience, okay? And that day he was talking about, okay, and just I can read Expedia. I wanted to know what is they are talking about. So I read. It celebrates the beginning of spring. In 17th century literature, it was identified as a festival that celebrated agriculture, commemorated good spring harvest, and the fertile land. Or, too many Hindus, holy festivals mark an occasion to reset and renew ruptured relationships and conflicts, and rid themselves of accumulated emotional impurities from the past. That is good. We need that. We need to bust our stuck inside something, something. We need something to bust. Maybe we need sometimes like that. So Indian culture is deep and very rich, actually. It is a festival day to end and rid oneself of past errors, to end conflicts by meeting others, a day to forget and forgive. That is very good, actually. So, shocking for the new people to know. For me, I was very shocked. But I think we need sometimes. How and how much degree, that is the point. But so sometimes happens accidentally also. But we need sometimes, okay? Why here we're laughing? Because last retreat, Pinyon Hill at the retreat, we are very serious. Pinyon Hill retreats are very serious. We don't talk each other. We are very serious. So now we want to meditate on that. Happened something. What happened? Someone made what do you call it? Kombucha, like a juice, but fermented, so like a sprinkles. That kombucha, she wanted to open that. Suddenly opened and carelessly splashed all over in the kitchen. Ceiling, wall, windows, all over. I felt, what happened? What to do? They called me. I didn't know what to do. So from now, we want to start a serious retreat. I entered the kitchen, my eyes become dot. Oh my God. We are celebrating Holi festival now. That was our experience. Such unexpected, unthinkable things happen sometimes. This maybe we need sometimes, so that we can break our. We are accumulating many things in our mind, in our impressions, many things. Too burstable about those. Sometimes we need, so I can't deny about those. Okay. So I felt it's gracious to clean up. Okay. So another aspect of Holi festival is dancing. Actually, at Belmat also, they danced in the Belmat main temple and that like a veranda, there they danced beautifully. They danced with singing outside of the main temple. It was a very joyful event. Beautiful. I feel joy. Actually, that time, to tell you, I could not understand why they dance, because I came from not to dance in the religion. That was our culture. So even though in Buddhism also, in a long history, I have heard at one period in one sect, the devotees were dancing with the name of God, Buddha. But I have never seen or experienced. But that is my view. So I couldn't understand actually to the truth at that time why they dance it. And one Hindu religious group is dancing always. I felt I can't understand. But when revered Swami, Swahanandaji Maharaj, the head of the center here, once asked me to take care of the small murti of Krishna. I do not know why, but when he handed over to me and I brought to my room, I really wanted dance with joy. Can you imagine? I'm not a person to dance. No. Spontaneous also, no, I don't. Why I could not understand, but the joy spring out from my heart to see Krishna. That was that day. And I had a Krishna, whoa, dancing with joy is this. I have a strong control power, so I didn't dance it. But spontaneously, the joy came out from my heart to dance it, actually. So after that experience, I understand why they dance it. But that dance, that joy is not emotional dance. We should not misunderstand and misbehave. If emotional dance comes, that is become like a cult or whatever, something, new sect or something. Not like that. Real dance is from out of the meditation, out of the prayer, out of the joy with God, with divine. Joy comes out from inside. That is a joy which we appreciate. Not sufficient, not outer look, or not like that. So if only you imitate outer look to dance or something, becomes strange. So that is a distinction between small religious group and real, genuine group become totally different. So we have to be careful to behave. But if real joy comes, dance comes spontaneously. That I agree. That is my experience also. Okay, now reading. I want to continue to read. So till now, I talked about the Holi festival. Next is what Sri Ramakrishna said. The master said to Mahimacharan, "My dear sir, please tell us something about love of God." Mahimacharan chanted the following lines from the Narada Pancharatra. What need is there of penance if God is worshipped with love? What is the use of penance if God is not worshipped with love? What need is there of penance if God is seen within and without? What is the use of penance if God is not seen within and without? O Brahman, O my child, cease from practicing further penances. Hasten to Shankara, the ocean of heavenly wisdom. Obtain from him the love of God, the pure love praised by devotees, which snaps in twine the shackles that bind you to the world. Mahima said, once while the great sage Narada was practicing austerity, he suddenly heard a heavenly voice repeating those lines. These are very beautiful lines. I didn't know about this Narada Pancharatra. This is a Vaishnava literature spoken by Lord Shiva. This is very interesting. I was surprised. Oh, Lord Shiva, okay. To sage, the great sage Narada. So beautiful. Such a way, if we can love God like Sri Chaitanya, I can understand what need is there of penance. Absorbing God is very important. If we do, I can't say, but here Thakur says so. We don't need a penance. And I felt very interesting because the Lord Shiva spoke to Narada in Vaishnava literature. This is very interesting. I felt, In the beginning, here also, obtain from him and love of God. Hasten to Shankara. I felt, why hasten to Shankara? I couldn't understand. So I researched, and the Lord Shiva spoke. Oh, okay, interesting. Even Shankara said, it's love with love is very important. With love, if we do worship, we do not need practicing penance. If Shankara says so, it means reasoning and analyzing will become nothing in front of love of God. From here, if you analyze it. I don't know, but it's so beautiful. Okay, now I want to proceed to read. Mahima said, I'm sorry. Master, there are two classes of devotees, Jivakotis or ordinary men, and Ishwarkotis or divine messengers. The Jivakotis, devotion to God, is called Vaidhi, formal, that is, it conforms to scripture rules. He worships God with a fixed number of articles, repeats God's holy name a specified number of times, and so on and so forth. This kind of devotion, like the path of knowledge, leads to the knowledge of God, and to samadhi. The Jivakoti does not return from samadhi to the relative plane. But the case of the Ishwarkoti is different. He follows the process of negation and affirmation. First, he negates the world, realizing that it is not Brahman. But then he affirms the same world, seeing it as a manifestation of Brahman. To give an illustration, a man wanting to climb to the roof first. Roof first negates the stairs as not being the roof. But on reaching the roof, he finds that the stairs are made of the same materials as the roof, brick, lime, and brick dust. Then he can either move up and down the stairs or remain on the roof as he pleases. So, he talked about now Ishwarkotis. So I want to read what is Ishwarkoti from Gospel, what Sri Ramakrishna explained. This is 1885, April 12. Master, an incarnation of God, or one born with some of the characteristics of an incarnation, is called an Ishwarkoti. An ordinary man is called a Jiva or Jivakoti. By dint of sadhana, a Jivakoti can realize God. But after samadhi, he cannot come back to the plane of relative consciousness. The Ishwarkoti is like the king's son. He had the keys to all the rooms of the 7-story palace. He can climb to all the 7 floors and come down at will. A Jivakoti is like a petty officer. He can enter some of the room of the palace That is his limit. So this is a, I wanted to select this actually, Holi, because of Holi, I wanted to select this portion, but oh no, Ishwarkoti came. Ishwarkoti is very difficult to explain. So I said, oh no, this. So that is my difficulties. But Vedanta Sara, Ishwara, they don't say Ishwarkoti, Ishwara, is actually, if ignorance gather together, that God's power appears. That they call Ishwara. So this is very interesting to the different issue, but Ishwarkoti appears some symptom, phenomena of the world, what is going on. That is my observation. So, very interestingly, this is his affirmation and what we are here. Negation and affirmation. He said, no? Where? I forget. Negation and affirmation. Here. He follows the process of negation and affirmation. That is what we do all the time in Vedanta, is it? In our retreat also, all the time we do negation and affirmation. This is not the world, this is not the God. But at the end we come affirmation. Means all what we see is God itself. So that is actually our process to develop in Vedanta. So he explains case of Ishwarkoti is different. Then he explained about negation and affirmation. More in his case, in our case, we teach our mind to do like that. But Ishwarkoti is, they don't need to teach. Naturally, spontaneously, this negation and affirmation comes natural, their quality. That I feel. So now, this is a 1885 explanation, and now I want to say 83 also he explained about Ishwarkoti. Just a moment. What he said, Sri Ramakrishna. It is not given to everybody to feel prema, ecstatic love of God. Chaitanya experienced it. An ordinary man can at the most experience bhava. Only the Ishwarkotis, such as divine incarnations, experience prema. When prema is awakened, the devotee not only feels the world to the unreal, but forget even the body with unalloyed love of God is the essential thing, or else is unreal. That is Sri Ramakrishna said about prema. So what I talked in the beginning is actually prema, which Chaitanya had. So Sri Ramakrishna said about Ishwarkoti's topic. So in my understanding, we want to have a prema, ecstatic love of God. That is ideal. But actually we cannot. As he said, Jivakoti can't. So, Holi festival, in my understanding now, I'm interpreting. Holi festival, we want to celebrate with color powder to get that aesthetic love for God. That is the original idea, I feel. We want to get that prema, but it's impossible for us to do. So at least we can color each other to get that prema. Forget body, forget looks, forget how people critics or looks, how outer look. Forget everything. And absorb into the love for God. That is my conclusion from the beginning to the end that I felt. Normally, Jivakoti is bounded by the social customs and so forth. Yeah, many things we do. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have many duties, I have to salute this, I have to do that. We need to sometimes break occasionally to beyond our limitations. How to? So, Holi Festival is one method. But we can cultivate love for God. That is very important. We can't, but we want to have aesthetic love for God. Everything forget. My body, where I am, my state in the society, nothing. So every day, once or twice, we meditate. That is actually Holi Festival, actually. Why? We forget that meditation time. Forget our mind, what we are thinking, what other said this, other said that. I have to do that. I have to do this. We are bounded by those. You see? Cut off those meditation time and cultivate really absorbing to God. That is a real way to do. Why we read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, to cultivate love for God. That is really we need to do. When I came here in Hollywood from Japan, but actually I was cultivated my spiritual practice visited India for 10 years or something before that. So I felt very dry here. I needed water. That was my reaction. So dry. But then what? So oasis is inside. You see? So we have to create oasis in our system. We can't get oasis from outside. No, impossible. But we can create oasis inside. How to do that? So meditation time, or we can't say meditation, just prayer time. We cultivate our oasis, moisture in us. That is really, really important. That is my experience in my life. Otherwise, if too dry up and become sad and not joyful at all. Everyone says I'm joyful because some people say something. Why? I don't know why. But I'm always, I try to cultivate the moisture in me. That I'm trying all the time. So this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is actually helping us to moisturized life. Moisturizer? We have not humidifier? Yeah. We purchase and we do in the room. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is that. That is very important. That I feel. Okay, now I want to close my Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and I want to say Om Stapakaya Cha. You can tell that. Om Stapakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarva Dharma Swarupina Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha. Thank you very much. Some question?
Mataji, can we become Ishwarkotis?
I can't say.